Hey,
Oh no!
I got all the good stuff.
You did. You're killing me.
I just got
I
here.
like you, but I don't like seeing you.
I just got here. There's nothing good here. Okay, so there's a lot of music playing in the background, so I'm going to do a voiceover, just show you, talk about the things that you're seeing, things that I picked up, why I picked them up, maybe even some things you didn't see, just because my camera might have been out of range. Typically I come down here to the toy section first, kind of squeeze past people looking at hangers, come to these bag toys or the board games and kind of do a quick scan. Someone was looking at the board games, so I didn't look at those yet. But I wanted to just kind of do a quick scan on these bags. Nothing jumped out at me. If it did, I would have probably just picked them up and thrown them in my cart, and then looked at them in a little bit. This is the other toy aisle, and one thing caught my eye here, and I did pick this up. The condition was kind of rough, but hadn't seen this brand or this style before, and so I put that in the cart, and notice where I picked it up from. And right about then, one of the workers walked by and talked to me about it. And later on, when I take it back out of my cart, I accidentally put it in the wrong place. I try to put things back where they've put them. This was a tote of some kind of racetrack. It looked more modern. Didn't look like a vintage Aurora or something good, and looked like it had been busted open and maybe cars had been stolen out of it. So I left that. Those were some new models, but they're just in a weird bag, and they were $7, so I skipped that. So this gentleman here, it was kind of funny. He noticed that I had a camera, so he was asking me if I did vlogging, and so he ended up asking me about my YouTube channel, and so he looked it right up. So hopefully he's seeing this. Sorry I didn't get your name. I should have introduced my actual self to you and got your name, but I appreciate you asking about it. And my camera, I could not for the life of me remember what my camera was called. It's an Insta360 Go S. I don't know why I couldn't come up with that when you asked me, but I will probably never forget that in the future. I did not see really any games. As we were talking, I noticed there was a kind of a large model. The box was pretty beat up, kind of down there on the bottom shelf, and so I did pick that up and looked at it. Really, they wanted a lot for it. Box was really beat up, although it looked inside the box looked pretty good. I do go after this stuff because bigger models can be pretty good. This one, the condition was just so rough and could not really tell for sure if the parts were in there, and they wanted too much for it. You can get these brand new in a nice box for $50, and I think this one was marked $20, so too high, too much. Back on the shelf it goes. Back with the rubber band back on it. I'm one of those people that I don't know, I get frustrated by people who open things up and then just throw them back on the shelf without putting them back in the box. So be kind and rewind and put your stuff back if you're not going to buy it. Although try to put it back on the right shelf. Again, that kind of frustrated me that I just completely forgot and put that car back on the wrong shelf. Not something I normally do. So I'm trying to scan this. I thought I would look it up, and it just was not a good comp. I really wanted it because I thought it was pretty cool. Large military ships like that, especially more modern ships. That was like a World War II, probably battleship. I looked and looked and looked. Nothing looked new. I'm in this store pretty regularly, so new things kind of jump out at you, and nothing new there. So I'm going to come down here and do a drive by the kind of the component stereo stuff, speakers and whatnots, and nothing looked new there either. So that's one advantage of being in the store regularly is you can things that look new really jump out at you. If you've seen the same set of speakers there, the same stereo there, it's really pretty obvious. These ladies were checking out a vacuum, and I wanted to say that one really sucks, but I'm not sure how they would have appreciated that. It's my funny joke, reseller humor. It was a Dyson though. I think I would have probably bought it if they didn't buy it. I'm looking here, nothing new. No video game controllers down there at the bottom where they normally sit. At least nothing worth looking at. No cameras, which would normally be right there. Just a stack of keyboards that were all the same keyboards I've seen before. Nothing in here that looked new. Trying to do my normal run through the store quickly, and then I come back and I'll do a little bit more detailed search. If I see anything that even piques my interest, I'll put it in the cart and then come back later. This Goodwill has great record prices on regular records. So any records at 99 cents, unless they somehow magically deem it to be more valuable, which for the most part they're 99 cents. And if you get like a I don't know, a AC/DC or something like that, it will be $4.99 or $5.99. But I've been getting pretty good records. Someone donated a lot of records and they're in really good condition, so I've been looking for those 99-cent records that are in just excellent shape. They did have some laser discs there recently too. For some reason they were $7.99, which is way too high for laser disc, but they'll sit there until they get discounted. That was a new bright remote control car, but it was pretty junky. I didn't even look it up. Probably should have because it was bigger, but I just didn't want to deal with it. There was no remote. Kind of scanning this area, just looking for anything that looks like it might be good. I decided I didn't want to cart this. That's not where I set it. I just set it there so I could scan it. I didn't want to carry it around if I wasn't going to buy it, because I was starting to feel like I was going to leave the store without anything, and I didn't want this in my cart teasing me to stick around. So nothing good there. That was actually where I ran into my friend Eric from Find It, Sell It, Tell It. He's a funny guy, and we have a good time talking about the resale life and the YouTube life. So there it goes. Wrong shelf. Darn it. It's still in the toy aisle, but I try my best to put things back. I did grab that Dobby doll, and really that was kind of a funny thing, a family thing. When our granddaughter was born, she was really tiny, and someone said she looks like Dobby, and so I bought that for her. So when she comes over next time, she'll have a Dobby. So I went down to the kitchen section. It's $1.99 a day for pink tags, and normally if I'm going to get like a juicer or a bread machine, I got to be there in the morning when the store opens. And I kind of look through. I was surprised to pick up, I got 2 bread machines. I'm not sure if you see them on video here, but got 2 bread machines, 2 juicers, and an iced tea maker, all $1.99. And I like, here's one of the bread machines. That was a dual paddle. I think it's Well Built by West Bend. I just take the pan and the paddles out, and I sell those. Sometimes I'll take the lids off. That one was kind of beat up, but I do have underneath there, I have an Oster bread machine. And the lid's pretty good on that one, so I'll probably take the lid off and the pan and paddle and list those usually for $20-$25. And I got a $2 investment, so I got room to kind of spread that out. But I like to do for most of my stuff, I like a 1 to 10. So if I'm paying $2, I want to get $20. If I'm paying $5, I want to get $50. So that doesn't always work, obviously, but that's my goal on reselling thrifting, is to try to find stuff that I can do a 10-to-1 on. I looked through this new cart. This is the stuff I don't normally sell: glassware, ceramics, that kind of stuff. Just not my interest. But here is on one side is office supplies, the other side is tools, and I found some great, actually just recently found a great HP LaserJet printer, really like brand new almost, for $25, and that's the one I'm using now. I almost grabbed this. It's a pink tag Staples shredder, and it's like a 20-page shredder, so it's pretty nice. And I have a big shredder downstairs in the garage, and I wouldn't mind having a small one up here. I can just shred stuff quickly, but I just don't have room for it, even though it's small sized. And the sell rate wasn't enough for me to want to buy it, so I left that behind for somebody else who might be a reseller or might just need a little compact shredder. I'm kind of waiting here in the aisle because there's a gentleman that I see quite often. He's got a little bit of a, I don't know, disability is probably not the right word, but he's got some, needs help walking. And so I'm letting him spend his time sorting through the shelves. He's looking through the tools, so I'm just kind of wasting time here looking at this shredder while he's looking at stuff he wants to look at. And so I'm kind of looking through here's where the calculators, and I've been looking for ink because I got this printer recently, and I was on the eye for new ink, especially the off-brand stuff that doesn't sell for very much. If I can buy that for testing purposes, it's a great way to get ink to use for testing things without having to pay a lot of money. I didn't see anything there. No calculators in there. Recently I got a nice HP 48 calculator in that bin right there for $8. Nothing jumping out. Sometimes you'll see like a brand new spindle of blank DVDs or CDs. I look for like the dual layered DVDs. I got so many of those that I don't need to buy those and try to resell them, but if they're cheap enough, I'll get the specialty versions. So he's still checking stuff out, which is fine. I see something on the shelf near him, so I grabbed that. And that's a solar charge it battery charger. And I need these like crazy. I have so many like lawnmowers or things that need generators or whatnots that need to have a way to trickle charge. So it's $20. But I looked, and the comps on it were kind of intriguing because there were absolutely no used listings, sold or listed, which is kind of weird. I mean, normally you see at least some used ones for that model, especially. And it was $20, and I still I ended up getting it because even the brand new units were selling for $60. So I figured I'm sure I could get at least 40 for it. That's a double. And if not, I got a nice charger for $20. So it was kind of one of those, I might be on the fence if it wasn't something I would end up using. But in this case, definitely something I could use. So while I'm dinking around with that, I'm still waiting for this gentleman to kind of finish up looking at stuff he wants. I'm not going to crowd him. That bugs me when I'm looking at stuff and people just crowd around me trying to reach over my shoulder. So while he's doing that, I'm looking this up, trying to decide, but I ended up keeping it. And I saw a Craftsman, look like a in-the-box Craftsman miter box. It was not brand new in there, and it was taped up, so I didn't pop it open, but was curious. Sometimes some of that older Craftsman tools, those can bring good money. I can't remember what they wanted for this, but I think it might have been $15 or $20, and that just put it out of range for me for a reseller. I didn't even want to bother with it. So he's moved on now. So now I've got my, well, he sort of moved on. He's backing up. Got enough room that I can start looking at stuff, and something catches my eye. I've been looking for just a bag of screwdrivers, actually. Just wanted to have some extra screwdrivers for, I'm always looking for those. And this was intriguing because as soon as I looked into this bag, I saw the word Snap-on. And there's a couple screwdrivers in there too, but there's 4 nut drivers, Snap-on nut drivers. And I think I'll probably get about $50 just for those 4 nut drivers, and that bag was $5. So, even though I've got other stuff in the cart, that's really the first thing that I got that it was like, yes, this is a great find. And I actually went to the back of the store after this to see if I could catch up with Eric and tell him, hey, I actually found something good. But I did not see him, but I just kept putting stuff into the cart after that. So this turned out to be a great day, even though I told Eric there was nothing good in the store. So sorry, Eric. So still looking things up, looking up those. I think I was looking up the Snap-on nut drivers. I found some great stuff in this section. I just sold a steam valve, a steam gauge, like a vintage Navy steam gauge that I got sitting on that shelf for $5. I just sold it for $35. I've been looking for some legal size file folders and file hangers. I got a few recently, but looking for a few more to go with the file cabinet I'm using now, trying to keep track of stuff that have just been in a box. So I use my thrifting time to look for personal items as well. So now I'm heading back. I wanted to do a little more thorough look through the board game section. I still did not find anything in there. But I don't necessarily catch it when they bring stuff out unless there's a squeak to the cart. You hear a cart rolling by. On $1.99 day, I do look in these little bins here for things I might need, like the other day I bought a couple of battery chargers in there, just like AA battery chargers, so I can charge a set of batteries for testing purposes, so I'm not constantly burning through batteries just to test things. Nothing really great in there. I already looked through here kind of once, but this is my second go around without the vacuum sounds drowning everything out. I do look through keyboards. Sometimes keyboards, they come out with good keyboards, valuable keyboards. Not today though. So this is where I end up finding. This is probably the best find of the day, and the biggest find of the day. As I'm kind of looking around, and I don't know if it was there earlier. Oh, there's the gentleman I was in the other aisle with. I don't know if this was out the first time I walked through here. I was a little distracted with the Dyson vacuum, but I pulled this off the top shelf and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy that. Yep, it's $79.99, and yep, I bet it's gonna be worth $200 to $300. I still have to check condition, but felt nice and heavy, which is usually a good sign for stuff like this. And I've sold these before, not this model, but this is a big boy, and so I'm excited to take a quick peek, see what it looks like inside the box. The box was pretty good shape. There was a couple of water stains here and there, but nothing bad. And so right now I'm looking for a place that I can set this down, and had to go. There was a lady and I think her daughter were looking at furniture right there, so I had to go around them. Didn't want to get them on video, and found a little table here and look inside there, and wow, brand new, still in the packages. The bags are still sealed. I haven't pulled all the pieces out to just make sure all the pieces are there, but it sure looks good, and it even looked like maybe a extra piece, like an add-on piece, because it actually has a metal spinner cover for the engine. There's no engine in here, but that piece right there, that didn't look like it might have come in the box. Maybe it has. I'm not sure, but that looked like an extra add-on if it didn't originally come with this. It did not look like a cheap piece either. Nice heavy chrome metal. This model, so it's you put an engine in this and fly this around, but this was $150 back in. It looked like the date on the price tag was 1997. So $150 back in 1997. I paid $80 for it today, and the comps are really good. Depending on how it's described, anywhere from like 280 to 400 and something, depending on how it's actually described. Mine's labeled as a Pico, but some of the other ones, they're the same model, they just have a different brand name to them. So I'll have to kind of research that a little bit more to see what I really expect from this, but I expect at least 250. Would be nice to get more closer to 350 or 400, especially if it looks as good as it is as far as condition and completeness. Really nice find. My Goodwill does charge, they price things up like this, but not crazy up. Like the Value Village I go to in that's across the bridge from us, that would have been marked probably 180, because that's just the way some thrift stores operate. To me, it was a fair price. I mean, you got to invest sometimes. You got to invest money to make money, and that was an investment, but I think it's a good investment, and the comps are good on that. Sell-through rate's good on those things, especially in that condition. So I think that's about it. I think we're gonna. Oh no, I can't remember. I looked to some remotes. I wanted to do one quick check to see if there were any remotes that I wanted that were now $1.99, which is what they used to be priced at. I thought that sound bar might have been a good one, but it wasn't. You always got to check. I find Sonos sound bars here pretty regularly because they just look like a regular old sound bar, but much, much more valuable. When someone put a bunch of speakers right in front of the remotes for some reason, so I moved them out of the way. I'm a stickler for putting stuff back, and I could tell once I started looking through the remotes, someone had already looked through them all and probably grabbed anything that was worth anything. So, and I don't know what that was. But yeah, I pulled a couple of remotes out and I could tell there weren't any pink ones in there for sure. My Goodwill, these used to be $1.99, maybe $2.99 for some, but they moved to an all $4.99 price, and now they always have a huge bin of remotes that nobody ever buys except on $1.99 day. Okay, just back from FedEx, UPS, the post office, and before that I went to Goodwill in the afternoon on a Monday, and today's $1.99 tag was the pink tags. I got several pink tag items, which kind of is crazy sometimes. Normally, when I've gotten those before, it's always in the morning as soon as the store opens. Got some great pink tag stuff here, but some incredible stuff. What was funny about this was I was in the store and I ran into Eric from Find It, Sell It, Tell It. So check out his channel. I'll put a link in my notes. But I was telling him, he said, "Oh no, you're here." And I said, "I've been here for 5 minutes. There's nothing good here." And at that point I had nothing in my cart, or if I had something, I'd put it back anyway. And so I was kind of had made my round through the toys, electronics. And then I thought I'll hit the tools and then I'll check out the appliances. Maybe there's some pink tag juicers or bread machines. I went through the tools and I ended up finding this bag of tools, and I think you'll see it on the footage, but there's 4 Snap-on nut drivers in here, which kind of blew me away. I don't think I've ever seen Snap-on in that store before, but this was $5. So $5 for 4, of what's in here, there's 4 Snap-on nut drivers. I don't know what the comps on those are, but it's the fact that it's Snap-on, I'm sure it's better than $5. But I went back to see if I could find Eric and say, hey, I found something cool. I didn't see him, but I ended up just going on this run of finding things in the store to the point where my cart was kind of overflowing. So let me show you what I got. So here's most of what I got, and I got one other item which I'll show you at the end here. It's too big to sit here, but let me just run through. Actually, I'll tell you what I spent. I spent, with donation and tax, $179, and there were 5 pink tag items. So let me show you what those were. Actually, this was the very first thing I put in my cart. It was cracking me up. This is a Dobby character, and there's kind of a funny story, which I won't share on this channel, but it's safe to say there's a reason I bought that. Underneath here are 2 bread machines. I try to get Oster. They seem to sell well. I don't sell the bread machine at all. I sell what's in here. So I sell that pan. I sell the paddle. Sometimes I'll take the lid off. And occasionally you can even take these control panels off. Sometimes those sell. So that's probably all I'll take, and then this will go. Unless I do a check and this particular model sells well. I've found a few that have like a special gluten feature. Gluten-free bread feature. Those sell great. I don't think these do, but Goodwill had these priced $25 and $30 and $25. No one's going to buy these bread machines at Goodwill. I'm not sure what you're doing, Goodwill, but no one's going to buy this. These are not Zojirushi. So this one actually is kind of cool. It had the instructions, but this pan is a dual paddle. So this might actually bring a little bit more money. I try to get about $20 to $25 for those pans and paddles. And then I probably won't even try anything with this one. The lid's pretty beat up, but I might try this lid. So $2. I'll do well on that. That's my 1 to 10 ratio that I like to have. I also got this Mr. Coffee iced tea maker. I've been watching this one. There's another one in the store, a different color, but they put these at $8. No one's going to buy this at $8, especially when you take the pitcher that goes with it and put it on a different shelf, which I bought the pitcher weeks ago, waiting for this to come down to $1.99. I also got 2 juicers. These are the 2 that I typically buy. This one for sure I always buy when they're $2.99. The pulp cup, I will get $15 to $20 for the pulp cup. And then this will be another $10 to $12. And then if I sell anything else, great. I ditch the motor. I keep this top. I keep this spout and the blade, and that's it. Everything, the motor is gone. Same thing here. I sell these pulp cups. I sell these pushers. I'll try and sell this top because it's easy, the blade. And then on this particular model, this is a Hamilton Beach. I sell these. Every time I get one of these, I sell the set of these plastic locking latches for like $10. I'll sell a set for $10. And I sell them every time. So it's crazy. This was $24.99 and $24.99. No one's going to buy those, Goodwill. No one will buy these for $24.99. But thank you for doing that, because I always get these for $1.99 and I part them out and I sell them quickly. So the other couple items here that I got was this Charge It. I was kind of on the fence on this because it was $20, but the only ones that I saw listed or sold were brand new. There weren't even any used listed ones. And these are going for like $80 brand new. And so I paid $20. I should get $50 for this. I'm assuming it works, but I'll plug it in, make sure it works. And you know what? Even if I don't sell it, this is something I would use. I've got all these stupid, engine power, battery starting power equipment things around the house. This I was a little nervous about buying, but sometimes I buy stuff like this. So it's $35. It's iCarSoft MB2. So this is a Mercedes-Benz, basically a code reader, Mercedes-Benz. And the comps were a little squirrely because a lot of them didn't have this particular cable with it, which is one of the important parts of this thing, the two pieces. I'm guessing I should get $50 to $60 easily, maybe $80 to $100, and I'll have to do a little testing on it. But I should be able to plug it into the motorhome, which is also a Mercedes, and it'll at least tell me that this is working. So I'm not sure what other pieces come with this normally. There's a little couple of maybe that's a card in there. Oh, that'd be good. There's an actual card in there. So $35, I figured that was worth the gamble. And then the very last thing, something I really don't buy anymore, but I tricked myself into buying this one just because I was standing there. A TI 84 Plus. It looks in pretty good shape. Has the cover, has a cool sticker on it. I don't know if I'll peel that off or leave it on, but the battery compartment was good. So I'm assuming it'll be in working condition. Paid $10 for it. These don't get the $50 to $60 I used to get for them, but I'll still get at least triple my money for this. So let me show you the last item right behind me here. So I decided to reshoot this particular part because over on this part of the airplane, this is a World War II German airplane. Over on this part of the airplane is stuff that eBay and YouTube and other social media sites don't like you to show. So I'm pointing at it, but I'm not showing it because I don't want to have that in my video. And I think I even flipped the instructions over so you can't see the instructions or the decals. But basically what you have in here is a brand new in the pack. See, the pieces are still in bags. Large scale, so 64-inch wingspan balsa, gas powered if you put an engine on it, which most people would. Gas powered balsa airplane. This is a big boy. $80. Originally in 1997, this was $150. I should have no problem getting $250. Probably closer to $3 in this condition with what I think is an extra piece. There's a engine spool piece, which doesn't look like it came with this. It's like a third-party piece that actually mounts in front of the engine. If it did normally come with this, then it'll stay in here. But if not, I might just show it as an extra add-on and maybe get a little extra value out of this because it's a really nice piece. So excellent buy. Always worth spending up $80 to get something that will sell quickly for $250 to $300 easily. And this is in great shape.